Hello and welcome to the next Lukozer retro game review video. And for this one, well, we're going back to 1990 and we are still on the old arcade coin-ops with Aliens, in case you couldn't understand what it says, because it does not sound like it said Aliens. So this is another Konami game. I don't know why I'm subjecting myself to so much Konami stuff lately. Well, now this is a game that I used to play quite a bit back in the day, and it's also one of those games where I see it now and I wonder, why did I play this so much? As you can see, you can have simultaneous two-player. I never actually tried it simultaneous two-player because I was the only person I knew who was stupid enough to play this back in the day. And well, it's based on the film, and I have to point that out because one of the reasons why, when seeing this now, I can't believe I used to play it, is that the amount of actual content in this game that is connected with the Aliens series in any way is negligible.
Aliens.
So, well, let's get the game underway. I used to be able to get pretty far in this game back in the day.
Aliens.
I don't think I'm going to this time. So we arrive at the old settlement on LV 426, or Acheron as it was referred to in the book, but never in the film. Right, so here we go. So you have two fire modes. You either stand up and fire or you kneel down and fire. If you kneel down and fire, if you have any bombs, you also use them at that time, which means that you can go through bombs quite quickly, usually when you have no intention of going through them. Well. Alright, so we pick up the extra, or the new weapon. I want the three-way. So yeah, how many people remember that from the egg came the actual, like, you know, full-size alien? That's only the, in fact, compared to some of the things in this game, that's quite accurate. So, alright, I will want to get that extra weapon in a minute. I want the flame, because we are now approaching the boss of level 1, and you tell me where in the film this boss is from, because I'm fucked if I know. So you have to just keep blasting away at him, and eventually the stupid long neck part gets blown off. I fucked up a bit there. I won't normally lose any health fighting this cunt. Right, so there we go, and now we face him without the neck. Compared to usual, I'm doing quite shit here. Normally I don't lose any health, but that's him dealt with. So now we clamber on to the old, whatever that fucking vehicle's called. And we have to shoot all of the approaching aliens here. And at the end of this level you get a very famous scene from the film reenacted. Don't mind telling you, this is another one of those games that fucking kills my arm. So you can avoid the aliens if you want to, and if your arm is dead like mine, it's a good job. There you go, that famous scene from the film where the flying alien comes down and picks up you. You must surely remember that bit. Right, so here we go. Now, there's those other famous aliens there, the flying heads. So this part, okay, the motion tracker bit is actually quite handy because it gives you some sort of advance warning that something's on its way. So in that regard it's handy. Now, I'm sure you all remember this part from the film with the zombie things throwing grenades through the grill there. Right, so we've got choice of direction. Oh, fuck it now. Made a right fuck up with this. Now we approach the lift. Now, because I fucked up, I'm going to have a bit of trouble here. Because of that. If I had the weapons I should have had, the three-way, I'd be okay. Now, you also need to fire up occasionally because there's a lot of aliens will drop down on top of the lift here, and eventually they'll break the cables. And if they do break the cables, the lift plummets to the bottom, and it's game over. I think there's one coming any second. Okay, maybe not. Certainly one due any minute though. There he is. Two of the cunts. So this level can take a little while because you're spending, well, you're having to wait for the lift to actually travel before you can actually progress anywhere. So let's start the review then. Graphically, it's okay. It's nothing particularly remarkable. I've seen far better, but I have seen worse. There's no two ways about it. Okay, we got through that level. I didn't really want the flame, but it'll do. So here we have the other famous characters from Aliens, the zombies, including the one that's firing what looks like a Gatling gun. And then the famous aliens that are, curled up into these ball things, and and then these other aliens that look like grey blobs that fall out of holes in the wall. So this is the big problem I have with this game, is there is so much content in it that just has absolutely fuck all to do with the film that this is meant to be a game of. So I'm going to stick another credit in because I know I'm not going to survive this here. So this fucker, if you keep firing at him, when he's curled up there, he'll bounce up. Otherwise, he'll keep rolling around and running straight into you. Alright, so let's continue. Oh yeah. Of course I lost my weapon. There we go. Right, that's that cut done. But this is only the halfway boss. He's not the actual end of level boss. That gives me an extra life, which I certainly need. So yes, graphically it's okay, but nothing remarkable. I've seen far better. I mean, alright, you can certainly tell that, you know, when they are actually on screen it is aliens, you know. But there's just so much stuff here that has absolutely fuck all to do with the Aliens series of films. The audio is okay. Again, not fantastic, but you know, I've seen far worse. These famous spiders, you all remember them from the film, along with more of the zombies that are in the water that are spitting out worms at you. I think it was, wasn't it Bishop who sorted out those bastards, I think. Or maybe it was one of the earlier casualties, you know, wasn't it Spunkmeyer or something? Who the fuck came up with that name anyway? Right, so now we jump into the old loader. We get the famous aliens that spit things at you. You remember them from the film, of course. Okay, now I'm doing a bit shit here. Grab the three-way, grab some extra energy. I think we are getting close now to the boss of this level. Oh, no we're not, we're nowhere near the fucking boss yet. So we have more of these fucking zombie aliens. So grab the bombs, use the bombs to blow those up. So they have regular eggs there, but also these, let's say, these other eggs where full-grown aliens appear from them. This is where I would have really much rather have had the extra weapon, the flame one in particular. So now we are approaching the final boss. Again, recreation of this well-known scene with all the aliens clambering on top of this thing, and then they jump off, and you get this fucker. So you just have to keep blasting away at his head again. Well to get away with that. Right, now he just keeps sending all these fucking eggs at you. Yeah, oh fuck it, I'll do one more continue. Fuck it, oh come on. Making one almighty fuck up here. Oh, finally got the cunt. And then we end up back in the, whatever it is, SRV or whatever. This time we have a lot of other things to deal with, not just regular aliens. We've got the well-known flying aliens and a lot of metal boxes as well. So anyway, I've covered audio and graphics. Gameplay, I mean, yeah, okay, as a shoot-em-up, it's not terrible. I've seen far worse. But I mean, as a game that's, you know, about the film Aliens, there is a hell of a lot of stuff in here that makes you think, what the fucking hell has this got to do with aliens? So even though I used to play this quite a lot back in the day, I do find myself wondering why. So the epoxy things, I think, yeah, go back to regular levels now. That one's not going to climb up until we get closer. But they're not going to get any closer at all, so bollocks. Well, I can certainly do with that energy, which I've got. And destroy that grill that they keep coming through. Oh yeah, another bollocks. You all remember this thing from the film, don't you? Of course you do. This thing takes an age to beat, if you can even beat it at all. Back in the day I used to get to this stage on 1 credit. Don't ask me how. My practice goes, and this go on this video, means, well, they certainly illustrate the fact that I can't get anywhere near that now. So, what do I score this thing? The gameplay, you know, there is gameplay here. I have to, you know, admit that. But, yeah, there is so much of it that makes me think, why the fuck did they call this Aliens? Why didn't they just release it as another shooter? Forget the Aliens fucking title. But no, I think because Aliens was so popular. There we go, we got rid of that cunt. Yeah, because Aliens was so popular. Oh no, we got to keep the Aliens name, even if the game for the most part has fuck all to do with it. So I score the game. I'll score it 6 because, as I say, it's not a terrible game. It's just ruined by the pointless connection with aliens that the game doesn't actually have anyway. I mean, there's nothing to do with aliens at all for the most part. So, alright, we're back on the old motion tracker, back through here. Right. That's game over. I'm not going to continue again because yeah, I've seen quite enough and shown quite enough. So there you go. That is Aliens for well, the arcade coin-op. Yeah, as a shooter it's okay, but there is so little content that actually has anything to do with aliens. You know, there's so much in here that has you thinking, what the fucking hell has this got to do with the film, or indeed any film in the series, that they just, well, they make it a bit laughably shite really. You know, it would have been better if they just turned it into any like standard shooter.
Aliens.
And left out all of the aliens references, replaced them with other generic creatures. Let's face it, there's enough generic creatures in this anyway, so it's not like the game would have suffered. So there you go, Aliens by Konami, 6 out of 10. That brings this review to an end, and we will see you at the next one.